Families of the missing Ukrainian soldiers gathered close to the border with Belarus on Monday as a planned prisoner swap between Russia and Ukraine took place. As the bus carrying prisoners of war arrived, a crowd of the relatives surged forward, many brandishing the photos of the missing fathers, also brothers and sons. Faces were filled with the apprehension. Few expected to be reunited, and most were just desperate for the information about and after waiting years for any news. Also, during the latest round of the indirect and the direct talks in the Turkey last week, also with the two warring sides agreed to the exchange sick and heavily wounded prisoners of war, also those aged under 25, and the bodies of the 12,000 soldiers. The Ukrainian president, that is Vladimir Zelensky, said that the exchange would unfold in several stages over the coming days. Also, the writing on the telegram said that the process is quite complicated. There are many sensitive details. Negotiations continue virtually every day. Also, the Russia Defense Ministry said that the first group of Russian servicemen under the age of 25 were returned from the territory controlled by the Kiev regime, and that a similar number had been returned to Ukraine. Neither side proved or provided any exact figure of how many people have been exchanged so far. As with the past exchanges, Moscow said that the repatriated Russian soldiers were receiving psychological and medical assistance in Belarus. Also, officials in Kiev said some of the Ukrainian prisoners who returned on the Monday had been in the Russian captivity since the beginning of the war. Also, Tatiana, who also had gathered with other Ukrainians in the Chernihiv region close to the Belarus, carried a cardboard sign with the photos of her father, that is Valentin, and the cousin Mykola, both still missing. When my father went to the fight, my biggest fear was that he would go missing, she said, her eyes filling with tears. I hoped maybe he'd wounded and come back later. Also, the war has exacted a heavy toll on the family. Tatiana's uncle, who was killed last September, but his body was only recently returned for burial. Also, when one of the returned prisoners apprehended and also appeared at an uppercase window, women waiting below hurled the names of the regiment at him, hoping he might have some news. He also apologized, made a heart sign with the hands, and called out Slava Ukraini, glory to the Ukraine. Also, Heroyam Slava, glory to the heroes, the crowd replied in the unison. Glimpsed briefly through the crowd as they were escorted inside, some of the soldiers looked gaunt. We'll have to see how the issues get resolved.